Hello, good morning and welcome to New Forest Morphs, and we are crazy about keeping ball pythons, and Jared is joining me today, father and son venture, and thank you for joining us on our journey. And I'm going to introduce you, Jared, to Jared's second snake. Was it, Jared?
This was my third snake.
Third snake, and what's his name? And what's
Rango.
Rango. So here's our beautiful Rango.
He's a banana.
And he's a banana boy. Have you bred him yet?
No.
No. He's our Jared's one of your favourite pet snakes, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's the one that we introduce to children, don't we? Because he will do nothing to frighten them. He's so calm, beautiful temperament. He likes to explore. He obviously likes the smell of my armpits. So there he is.
He's the only one.
So thank you, Jared. Well, we've had a really very productive day yesterday. We actually we produced 5 films in a day yesterday. And that was because we did our normal 2-part series, as we do every day. And then in the evening, Spruce Wayne Stant from, I believe it's from Phoenix. Is it Phoenix Royals UK? Yeah, one of the nicest guys you can possibly meet in the hobby. And we had a lovely 1 hour, well, I think it was 1.5 hours in the end, of which 1 hour and a bit was actually recorded. Then the beloved camera's battery gave in toward the end, so it's coming. Parts 2 and 3 is coming tonight. I'm going to upload those. So I'm sorry if part 2 is abrupt because the camera just died on me. And we're going to upload straight from the footage. It's uncut live footage. And the part 1's already up, so if you haven't had a chance to see it, go and have a look and meet Wayne and his collection of beautiful snakes. And I really enjoyed spending the time with Wayne last night. It was just a joy, absolute joy. And a great way with the lockdown pressures that we can get into each other's facilities, see our snakes, share our snakes, and actually enjoy company. So I'm not allowing lockdown to stop the opportunity to bond with people with snakes, and I think it's just thinking ahead on using media, telephone contact, using FaceTime, Zoom, whatever you want to use. Don't let this lockdown drag you down. Take it up to the next gear. Use the technology that we've been blessed with to keep those relationships vibrant and alive. So that's my little ideas for today. So what are we going to do today? I must say that there has been some interesting news. Sad to say that yesterday we had our record number of deaths on COVID-19, 1,820 deaths, which is a record for this country. And it seems to be, the good news is I think the number of people that are actually catching it are starting to drop off, but the number of pressure on the hospitals is still climbing because there's a time lag between people catching the virus and coming down with severe symptoms that necessitate going into hospitals. So the hospitals and the nurses and doctors are under pressure. Is it Wednesday or Thursday today, Jared?
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
No, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday. So in the last lockdown, we all gave a clap to our nurses and doctors and care workers and all those involved in rolling out the medicines, and I think we should offer them a clap, and I'm going to give them a clap from me to salute our doctors and nurses and to say thank you for what you're doing, because you are literally saving precious lives, and we appreciate that you're putting your own life on the line and making great sacrifices, and my heart goes out to all you and your families, and you know you've got our 100% support here for New Forest Morphs, and we're going to send lots of love. And Kirsty sent us her address, Jared, so we can send her that package. We've got lots of packages we want to send. We want to send Wayne a thank you package, and everyone that features on our live show or our Zoom show gets one of these, and gets our stickers. You get the full Merc coming at you. So that's an invitation to come join us once a week. It will be going out Thursday night live, 7 till 8. We'll start off with the pre-recorded, but Adam's building the computer, and when that's done we'll be able to go properly live. So please do not hesitate to send us a message if you would like to join us on the show, and then we will also expand that to have a group Zoom meeting where we can have a collection. As soon as we've introduced each other to each other, I'll probably bring everyone together and we'll have a 6-way conversation on Zoom, so we can all have a good old giggle, laugh and banter, and I think that'll just escalate into something very special. So please do feel free to join us. So what other things are going on here? We've had 4 million vaccinations in the UK from yesterday, so they're rolling them out about 350,000 every day, and that should escalate to 4 or 5, maybe 500,000 a day eventually, so it won't take long for everyone to get their jabs. And it's appropriate that today we are talking about part of our Caring for Ball Python series is we're going to be talking about administering shots to our snakes, which is quite topical because we're all going to have to receive one. So going through the process and how it impacts on our snakes is going to be kind of very relevant. But the other thing that happened yesterday is we have a new president of the United States. Now he's got a massive mission to unite the United States of America, to make it united, because at the moment it isn't united, and the adversary and the powers of evil men and conspiring men thrive in division. And when we're united, we stand strong. And I'll never forget, I remember teaching some young women from the age of 12 to 18 in our church environment, and they invited me in as a guest speaker. And my daughter Bethany was actually 17 at the time, and she was one of the youth leaders. And the bishop at the time, who would normally go into these meetings, was busy with other issues, and he asked me as one of his counsellors to represent him in this meeting. And the Spirit moved me so much that I took a concept, an idea from Bethany herself. Taught me this, and she said, "Dad, look at this." She taught a principle, because every day we have a family devotional in our family to strengthen the family, and we share something uplifting. And that's probably why my desire to share a spiritual thought or a thought for the day comes from my 30 years of raising, well, not 30 years, it's nearly 30 years, 28 years of raising a family. Every day we try and have that thought. So you're getting, because I see you as my family, and I guess in a way I'm a little bit of a father figure, I want to share with you guys what I would share with my own children. And that's my motivation. I have a spiritual desire for the welfare of every person out there, not just my family, but the wider, because we're all children of God. That means by definition we're all brothers and sisters, irrespective of race, creed, colour. And if we have that perspective, some of the divisions that we see in our politics and in our countries, that little bit of knowledge can make a huge difference to how we view each other. That we're all on a difficult journey, we have different tastes, political persuasions, religious persuasions, but we can learn to live together in harmony and still respect each other's different views, and that's the key. And that's one of the messages of today. And I want to wish the new president all the very best and encourage everyone to give him the chance to see what he can do. Don't prejudge him. Even if he's made mistakes in the past, and even if he carries a speech impediment, that isn't necessarily a weakness. It can be a strength, because there was an ancient prophet in the Old Testament, Jedi, that had a speech impediment. Do you know who that was?
No.
Moses, one of the greatest leaders we've ever had. And he relied on his brother to do a lot of public addresses, you know? And yet, if you look at history, Moses is one of the most beautiful prophets of the Old Testament that teaches us so much about deliverance and leading the Israelites away out of captivity in Egypt. And it's a lovely story, and we can take a lot of good messages from these beautiful stories of the Bible. They are there for us today. They're not just historical records of interest. As we apply these principles to our lives, they become dynamic, and we can learn from other people's mistakes and by other people's good leadership and good behaviour. So that's why we study from that perspective. So today we're going to talk about the word is synergy. Have you heard of the word synergy, Jared?
You told it to me about 10 minutes ago.
I primed Jared for this.
And I don't remember it. This is what happens when you have 26 years of this preaching. It goes in one ear, out the other.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me teach the principle by example, okay? So what we'll do is we're going to take something, Rob is a good example of synergy, okay? And I'm going to show you one of his examples of synergy by demonstrating in our collection the power of synergy, and then see if it will jog your memory, Jared. Yeah? So what we'd have to do, we'll put Rango back into his rub, and then I'm going to take the camera and you're going to show everyone the power of synergy. Is that okay, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Let's go do that.
Am I just pairing?
You're going to be pairing.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, where's Rango's rub? Because we've had a good clean today. Any other interesting behaviour while we're on the subject of behaviour, Jack, from the cleaning that you want to show anybody? Let's put this guy away. Now, Jack, just homing on his new bowl. We've given Rango, how long have you had Rango?
3
3 years?
3 and a bit years.
He's had the same bowl for 3 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And guess what I did today? I cleaned that Rango. We made a decision, an executive decision, that you might think is insignificant. But in actual fact, it's very significant because cleanliness is key here, isn't it? So I could dig out the bin. I won't dig it out, but there's a bowl that's a bit smelly and I didn't fancy cleaning it. It's 3 years old and it's one of those bowls where you look at it, you think that shouldn't have gone about 2 years ago. So I said to Chad, should we swing it? Should we sling it? And he goes, yeah, they're only about 3 or 4 quid anyway. So but these ones we've got are 3.50. You can import these bowls, not import them, but we shipped some in, didn't we, Chad, online? So don't
we bought some on Amazon.
On Amazon. So go get that. We also got a new bin, part of our Jared. Let's just see the 2 new bins. So I've got my own bin now. Jared's got his own bin. And the reason for that is because we've got such a long facility, we found that Jared and I were losing time on cleaning by sharing the same bin.
It's just a lot of rubbish in this facility.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not referring to my education, Jared, I hope.
Not in the slightest, never.
You can see my son completely respects his dad. Okay, so behaviour. Let's show the girl behaviour first.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll take the camera, Jared. You kind of give me your interpretation of women behaviour. So which ones did you find that are of interest? I think there was a couple of our girls that look as though they're moving towards the ovulation stage.
I don't remember which one.
Cappuccino?
Yeah.
Cappuccino, which is, we're going to pair her up today.
She's looking very chunky.
Right.
Very I don't think it's ovulation.
Let's
it's
have a
not
look.
quite big enough for that, but
yeah,
she's getting very thick and plump, which is what we like to see when it's breeding season.
So the eggs could be 25 to 30 mil. So you might have another 10 to 15 mil to go before she ovulates. So
it's plumper here, between this part here and down to here, but it doesn't quite look like an ovulation yet.
No.
So.
You can't miss them because we've got another girl. While she's open, Jared, why don't we pair up the husband? We might as well we're going to multitask here. This is part of synergy, by the way. I want you to work out the synergy of what we're doing. Maybe our viewers can try and work out the synergy. And this is a principle taught by Professor Balls, okay, who I'm also nicknaming Master Jedi. Now, hello, what have we got here? This is Rey.
This is Rey, she's another big girl.
Now Rey is part of our Jedi collection, Rey. She features in one of the later series of Star Wars. We've got a lot of people out there that love Star Wars, by the way. Angel loves Star Wars, she's a fanatic fan. He is, sorry.
Yeah.
So Angel contacted me yesterday and she gave me a lovely message of love. He gave me a lovely message of love. And you know what she did, Jared? You know what he did, Jared? So it's my... Do you know what he did? Is he shared our channel with a lot of people in this community. And they gave us a huge shout out. So, how's he looking, Jared?
Yeah, he looks good. Just making sure he looks healthy and clean.
He's not in shed or anything. Were you thinking about not putting him in there?
No, I think he's alright.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's good.
Okay. I mean, if in doubt, it's best not to do it. If you think we should give him another examination, but if you're happy...
He just looks a bit dull. I don't know if he's going into a shed.
He didn't eat, so he might be going
he's
to
going a bit... Let's leave him for now. I think he's going into a shed.
Let's not put him under any unnecessary pressure. So there you go. There's 2 people's opinions. Jared might have been tempted to do that then, and maybe it was the right thing not to and get a second opinion.
I don't think they'd lock.
No, there's no point in... If they're not going to lock, there's no point in doing it. Better to rest. The shedding process is a process. It's a bit like us, I guess, that if someone asked us to step up and we're not feeling perfect, or we've got something going on with our bodies, the last thing we want to do is push our immune system any further with breeding.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fair on them, really.
So this is Phantom. She's getting big as well.
She is the Phantom of the Opera, Jade. I mean, she really is. I mean, we'll have to... we'll do a musical Phantom of the Opera at some point in the future and bring her out when we feature her. But she won't be far off ovulation, Jazz. She's certainly building. Who are you going to put to her?
Harvey Ultramil.
Right, so good inspection on him.
Looks good to me.
Is he looking good? He's not in shed?
Not in shed, looks clean, looks healthy.
So can you see the importance of examining before we do this? And look how gentle Jared is in placing the animals together. And how slowly he pushes the drawers in and out. And that stops them from getting spooked. So there's another little tip. And we got a tip from Wayne yesterday on the live chat. He had a problem feeding one of his snakes.
Yeah.
And guess what he did? He got advice from the previous...
Oh, I saw it, yeah, because...
Yeah, what was
the people we bought it from had it in a grey tub.
Yeah.
And he had it in a clear tub like we do. So he put paper around the outside to make it dark, didn't he?
Yeah. What a great tip, Wayne. Anyone that's having a problem with these rubs that are see-through, we like them because we want to see what's going on without disturbing them. But we haven't got a problem with ours not feeding because of them, because they're so tight units. You can see how dark it is in here, and we have a completely controlled environment here. But if you've got them in your bedroom and they're not feeding because the light's coming through your bedroom window, a top tip is to actually put newspaper around here, here and here, and create the, not necessarily newspaper, but grey. You don't want print, it's not good necessarily to have printed paper in these, is it?
Not particularly.
No, it's not a good idea, unless you've got paper over the top of it, of course, but, because I think the ink, if it does, would the ink effectively act as
if there's water in there, it can leak and get on the snake. I don't know if it's particularly bad for them, but
that's why people go for chip paper instead, because chip paper doesn't have any ink on it, and it's the same paper they use for printing.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, everyone has to work within their budget as well. So I'm not going to put anyone down if they are using paper, but if you've got the opportunity to step it up, that would, I think, be a good tip as well.
Agreed.
Right, so we put these two together, shooting for the power. What are we shooting here for, Dad? Power balls. Yep, they're both looking really good.
Last one.
And the last one we're doing.
She's bowl wrapping right now.
Bowl wrapping. Look at the behaviour. Who are you putting in with her? Is that the Cinnamon Pied?
Cinnamon Pied, yeah. So
what is she?
She was sold as a Het Pied.
Yeah.
And I tried to prove her out last year with no joy, so we'll try again today.
Yeah.
I mean, this season.
Yeah.
See if we can get some Cinnamon Pieds.
Let's have a little look at him. He is a beautiful snake. I love him. He's one of my favourites.
He's got a bit of poo on him, but
yeah,
that's fine.
Well, according to Professor Rob, a bit of poo goes a long way in the breeding process. Not too much of it, but yeah, leave it.
Yeah.
We've also left the. Thank you, Jack. We've also left what are the things? What do you call the hard white stuff at the corners of the
Urates.
Urates. Now, Rob recommends don't take those out on breeding, and Jad made a point, didn't you, Jad? You said.
I was cleaning earlier this morning and saw some in the back, and I thought we're breeding them later today. I'll leave those in.
Leave them there, because that's the mating call of the male smells that and wants to go to find the female. That's her signature card, you know. And we become too meticulous in cleaning, and we remove that. That can make the difference between a successful lock and an unsuccessful lock, because the male is stimulated by that. Now, back to synergy. So what have we done? We've done 5 pairs, not 6. Because it wasn't right to do 6. But why have we done 5 together rather than stagger them, Jared?
All the smells in the room, all the smells that each one of them produce, gets all of them going.
So it's what I call, I'm going to improvise here a little bit. I have actually got a bongo down here, but I'm going to use my bins as a bongo. Can I have the other bin? I'm going to create my own bongo set here. So, thank you, Jared. Right, and I'm going to need, I'll use my hands, so bongo, my bongo set, and this is my stand, and I'm going to just, I've got a bit of a hip issue, but anyway. Rhythm of the room, the rhythm of the room, the rhythm, the rhythm, the rhythm of the room, the rhythm of the room, the rhythm of the room, the rhythm, the rhythm, the rhythm of the room.
Well, that was a lovely new bin till it broke.
Sorry, I've broken it. So well. Sorry, Jared, I think I might have broken your bin. Oh well.
Oh so dear. This is why we don't have nice things.
We can always use it for a talking bin, Jared. Sorry.
That's alright.
Go and order another bin, don't worry about it. Okay. Anyway, I hope Rob enjoyed that one. It's a bit spontaneous, the humour. Don't worry about it, Jen. We'll sort it out later. Hello. Don't worry about it, Jen. Oh, he's fixed it. Go and show everyone you fixed it. So
that's why you worry about things.
That's why I have Jared around. He's a good fixer. Jared the builder, he can fix it. Jared the builder.
I feel like I'm raising a son right now. Come on.
Come here, Jared. Come. We haven't finished. I want to talk about the synergy business, okay? So the synergy is all about, well, Jared, I've given you the clue now. What does synergy mean?
Putting multiple things together creates more, I forgot what the word is, more, like, someone can influence more than one people around them to do good and spread that with other people.
Yeah, so you're on the right track, Jared. So 5 pairings all at once is better than doing 5 days of individual pairing. You'll get better results. That's the simplicity of it, applying the rhythm of the room, which I love. And thank you so much, Rob, for teaching us that principle, because the more of us that follow that's what I call Jedi, Master Jedi advice. Okay? And I think that we will get more locks by doing that, because the hormones that are being given off because you're doing more multiple pairings will stimulate other breeders that are going to maybe not be honed in on it, but they're going to smell all the other hormones. So if you get someone like our big clown boy that's full of hormones and he's straight in it, he'd be the opener. He's the opening batsman, if you like, that will inspire the rest of the team. Okay, we're getting into cricket. Anyone for cricket? So if Joker's the opening batsman, and then we see this chain reaction where good leadership up front has a domino effect. Yeah, like you got Rob, who I think is top of his game, and then so many people are attuning their Jedi powers to his powers and gaining strength from it. He's showing great example of leadership in this hobby, and we're all feeding off it, which feeds him as well, because as a Jedi Master you need to feel appreciated and loved. The worst thing you can... A
Jedi Master.
A Jedi Master, I love it.
Yeah.
But the worst thing you can do when you have someone as good as Rob is to criticise him or pull him down. So, I mean, he's got so much strength and power that I'm sure if that ever was to happen, he's very resilient and strong, but we're all human and we all have sensitivity of feelings. So never assume that. In fact, sometimes the most sensitive people, they're sensitive because they reach out in sensitivity, but they're also equally sensitive when people don't give them the love back that they deserve. So please, anyone out there that has anything to anyone that does media, even if they get it wrong, handle it well, please. And anyway, so there's an example of synergy. Now, in accountancy and in maths, when you are putting two businesses together, so say we're doing a merger, which is like getting one company over here, one company over there, you put the two companies together to make a bigger company. So if this company is worth $1 million and this company is worth $2 million, the reason why you get these mergers is because accountants like me look at that and say, put them together, you'd expect $3 million, but what you actually get is you get 4. How does that work, Chad?
Because together they can share more, they can utilise each other's assets.
Yes. So it's
and then produce more.
So in one company,
more efficient.
In one company there might be dynamic leadership, that when that combines with the other company, improves the leadership will enhance people's performance. Also, you cut overhead. So by putting two companies together, instead of having two separate companies with the same marketing budget, the same cost and overhead, by putting them together, you cut out the overhead and that gives more profitability. And with that extra income, you reward that to your staff. They get extra motivation from that and they pull their finger out more, because it's just a simple bit of maths really. But can you see how working together is more powerful than working against? And the same principle applies in the community. So Rob has also given us another example. He has a fantastic relationship with Arwen at, I'm forgetting this, it's called let me just check my notes, because I think it's ARP Constrictors is the name of, I'm going to give them a shout out. Yeah, ARP Constrictors. So let's give them a shout out. And that's Aaron. Now, if you look at his videos, Rob builds a very strong partnership with him, and he's taught us another example of synergy, which is two people together are greater than them individual parts. And I can see that. Look at the projects that Rob's got. He's borrowed a girl or a boy from Erin, and probably works the other way around as well. And they share in the projects. They have a mutual understanding, respect and trust. They both have very high hygiene standards and husbandry standards. They can trust each other. If you like, two Jedi Knights working together, or two Jedi Masters working together. So, and if you look at his collection, I mean, ARP's Constrictor's got their own YouTube, and I'd like to encourage any people that haven't seen that, go and check him out. His animals are amazing. Rob is just so lucky to be so close to them and to have that wonderful relationship, because I can see so many wonderful things happening there between the two of them and their relationship. But that's what I felt about Wayne. I mean, I said to Wayne, how did you feel yesterday in the video if we were to do a trade with each other or exchange snakes, or you've got projects we haven't got, but you've got surplus to your requirements? Would you give us a shout and give us a chance to maybe have a look at that, and vice versa, we'll do the same on our end? So in the industry, there's an awful lot of transactions, friendship trust transactions that you don't see, that actually don't even go in Morph Market. In fact, I would actually say that Morph Market will probably have what people aren't willing to share with their friends, or their friends don't want them. So I'm not saying it's. What I'm saying to you is that some of the probably the best snakes are actually never publicised on the market. It's all done through synergy. It's all done through relationships. So the key is to build good relationships if you want to get the very best genes and very best projects. Is to build relationships. And Miguel's learned that from Justin Gabelka. They've got a fantastic relationship, and just look what's happening to Miguel. You saw what happened yesterday. He had snakes that I don't think Justin's even got out yet. And Justin's been in it 20 years, Miguel's been in it 4, and who's banging out the goods? Both of them are banging out the goods, but I'm impressed that love, respect and synergy brings about great results. So build relationships rather than destroy, and then you'll be building yourself. How many minutes have we got, Jared? 4 minutes, so we've got a little bit of time. Friendships we spoke about. The other thing that Rob is teaching us is his knowledge. He shares knowledge with us, and in his humility he accepts corrections himself. None of us are perfect, and we've all on a learning curve, and every new person on the block might give a different perspective. So the thing about synergy and knowledge is if you share knowledge with someone else, they might be willing to share knowledge with you. And in part 2 I'm going to give you an example of that. In fact, I might even be able to squeeze it in now. Let's see if I can squeeze that in now. We got some feedback from the antiseptic F10 yesterday, which is coming today, Jared. Mm-hmm. I know you said your gut instinct was that you thought that it could be a marketing exercise between antiseptic and disinfectant. Well, I've got some information from a breeder who actually has confirmed that your gut instincts could well be right. And the name of the guy is actually, let's see if I can find the details on that. Yeah, it's Simon Tyra of Hillside Exotics. Go check him out. He's got, I think, a Instagram and Facebook account, and he said he loves the channel, and he's done his own research, and he spoke to a person representing, her name is Sue from F10, from the F10 team. So obviously she works for the company, and she sent me an email which I've left in the house, a copy of the email, and we'll feature that on part 2. And then the other thing we're going to do in part 2 is we're going to look at the new girl that we've got. So we've got a new big girl who's passed her quarantine that we're going to show you in part 2. We won't tell you what or who she is, we just do an introduction. And then we'll go into the antibiotics course and discuss the antibiotics. Hopefully everyone's done their homework, and if you do your homework, it'll mean more to you what we're going to talk about, because it'll be refreshing what you've already hopefully learned. So we'll see you in part 2. It's a big goodbye from me, goodbye from Jared, and we shall catch you in a few minutes.